Welcome to a new episode of Smart Remarks. I'm your host, Mark Impress Preston. A quarter of the season has passed. Week 5 is done. Got a lot of things to talk about on this show. So let's get this show kicked off. Okay, first guy we're going to look at in our Marked Men segment. A guy that's gone missing since his contract holdout of last year. He plays running back. He's one of the fastest guys in the NFL. Has anyone seen Chris Johnson? I know a lot of people may be disappointed fantasy-wise because he hasn't really produced in like 2 years. So I'm asking Chris Johnson, who's not on my fantasy team in any way, but I would like to see the old Chris Johnson come back to form, so to speak, in these next coming weeks in the NFL season. Also, we're going to look at two guys on the Jets. Antonio Cromartie, first of all, who came off of a wonderful Monday Night Football performance, both shutting down Andre Johnson, one of the best receivers in the game, holding him to like a catch. And then he made this claim in the offseason that he was the Jets' second best receiver, and I kind of believe him. He blew right past Jonathan Joseph. Should have been a touchdown pass if Mark Sanchez didn't screw things up. Which brings me to the ultimate question that I'm sure a lot of Jets fans want to know. When is it going to be Tebow time? The Jets need to win. The Broncos were 1-4. They turned to Tebow. They were able to go 7-4 down the stretch and win the division. The Jets aren't completely mathematically out of it yet. They need to unleash Tebow. Okay, jumping into our Smart Remark Funky Bunch for the NFC. At number 5, I have to put the Minnesota Vikings here, 4-1. Old school. They're running the football with AP all day. They beat the San Francisco 49ers. They beat Detroit. They have been playing great football. Who knows? Maybe they can keep this up with even with Christian Ponder playing quarterback. Number 4, I have the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not ready to give up on this team just yet. They've been the other surprise team of the NFC so far into the season. I still believe in their defense. Number 3, the Bears have been mighty oppressive over these past couple of weeks, dominating the Cowboys, just dominating really whoever they play. They eked out a win against St. Louis. Number 2, I gotta have the San Francisco 49ers. They had one hiccup against Minnesota, and after that, they've just been going back to what they do, smashing teams on both sides of the ball. And at number 1, no matter what happens during the game, Matt Ryan always seems to find a way to win the game for the Falcons. Falcons are still 5-0, playing great defense. Now for our Smart Remarks AFC Funky Bunch. At number 5, got to start this off with Andy Dalton, AJ Green, the Cincinnati Bengals. Still a very, very respectable football team. Got a lot of confidence in them to make the wild card. And at number 4, this team needed a win most desperately, and they got it against Philadelphia. What a clutch drive by Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin doing a great job getting those guys ready despite losing Palomalu and Lamar Woodley in the middle of the game. At number 3, the top 3 in the AFC don't change. I still have the Patriots at number 3, Tom Brady, Tom Terrific. They're doing an excellent job offensively in New England, and that young defense is still coming along. Number 2, I still have Baltimore. Another impressive win, even though it was only 9-6 on the road in Kansas City. But those are the types of wins that a team can look back on at the end of the season and reflect on those in order to grow as a team and move forward. Number 1, still have the Houston Texans. Even though they lost Brian Cushing for the season with an injury during the Jets game, that team still has J.J. Watt. They still have Matt Schwab, Andre Johnson, Arian Foster. Those guys still are enough to keep the Texans at the number 1 spot and to get the job done. Alright, and now for some smart picks. Last week on the show, I went undefeated, going 4-0. Finished at 9-5 overall for the week. And I'm only 1 game behind instead of 2 in my ESPN Pigskin Pick'em League. But let's get straight to the picks this week. First game, Dallas going to Baltimore. Dallas and Tony Romo stand no chance going up against my Super Bowl pick in the Baltimore Ravens, so I like Joe Flacco and the Ravens to win big in this football game. New England's also playing Seattle on the road. I expect New England to dominate on the road versus Seattle. It's a tough place to play, but I think the Patriots are going to be focused and get the job done. And the final game that I'm picking, rematch from the NFC Championship game. The Giants going to San Francisco to play the 49ers. And this time, I don't think Kyle Williams is going to fumble a couple of punts. I think the 49ers win in a very tough, physical football game. It may not help them get over what happened last year, but it helps them move forward with the rest of the football season. Okay, and now for our question mark segment. A question that I thought to myself, what's the deal about Bountygate? The new updates as far as Scott Fujita getting his suspension reduced, but everyone else's suspensions from Roger Goodell being upheld. I know it's Roger Goodell's job to protect the shield and protect the logo, and there's obvious double standard when it comes to player safety in NFL, which is a serious issue with players and fans alike, because we all love football when it's played hard, physical, and violent, but if you're going to protect quarterbacks, you're going to protect wide receivers, you got to protect the guys like Brian Cushing, you got to protect defensive players as well. I mean, I don't think an offensive lineman has ever been fined at all, period, for any type of dirty play or illegal hits. So, you know, Goodell, I don't know how he looks himself in the mirror, but I guess that $10 million check looks awfully good and just sort of kind of bypass any sort of moral standards. Okay, I just want to thank everybody for watching Smart Remarks this week. Look forward to a lot of great NFL action during Week 6. We're going to take a knee here. See you next week.